Yo, what is up, guys? It's Lyrixx here, and I've got a pretty good story to tell you. Well, it's kind of funny. It involves my grandfather and my little brother. So basically, this is what happened. So one day it was about 3-4 months since we saw our grandfather last. So he calls us up and he goes, "Hey, do you just wanna like?" We're like Macedonian, so it was like speaking his language, because we could like understand and stuff. So he called us and he's like, "Hey, do you wanna go to Liverpool with me and we'll get some McDonald's and stuff. We'll like go get some lunch and stuff." We were like, "Yeah, okay. When?" And then he's like, "Oh, we'll go tomorrow." I said, "All right." And then he's like, "Oh, come stay the night and then we'll go in the morning." I was like, "Yeah, all right, cool, no worries." And he's like, "Bring your brother as well." So I go get my brother and we get our parents to like drop us off there, and this happened about a few years ago. So what happened was fuck, hold up, once I gotta remember because it was pretty long ago. So he woke up. So we slept the night, and then he woke us up in the morning, and he told us to get ready. So we got ready, and then we left off. And before, like during the night, it was like raining and stuff. So there was like it was raining pretty hard as well. So it was like there was a fair bit of rain outside. It was like pretty humid. So we went to Liverpool, which is like this like, oh, I can't explain. It's like a town where there's like little shopping centers and stuff. Anyways, so we left his house to go down to this park, like to get to Liverpool, and what we usually do is we like cross these creeks, like to like stepping stones, so it's quicker to get there. So we crossed them, and the lake, it wasn't a lake, it was like more of a creek. It was like streaming, like there was a stream, like a flow of water, but it wasn't like really strong, and it wasn't really high. So we crossed like these stepping stones, which we usually do, and it wasn't bad. We got like it was up to our soles on our shoes, and like it was like the rocks were just covered by water, so it was alright. It wasn't too bad, and we went to we were on our way to Liverpool. So we got to Liverpool, and we went to this park, and he was with his friends. I'm pretty sure it was with his friends. I don't know. It was like these and he went into like this pub and got some alcohol, and me and my brother were just playing at the park. What happened after that was a few, like about half an hour, 1 hour, what goes past. We're at the park still, and he he came back and he was drinking, and he was pretty drunk. After an hour, he had a little bit too much, and we go to Macca's afterwards as he promised, like for lunch and shit. And then he asks us what we want, so we tell him what we want, and then he goes up to the counter, and then he tells us to tell them what we want. We tell them, and they put it through the order, and then my grandfather wanted something, but he didn't know, like, cause he's like imported from Macedonia to like Australia, so he didn't really understand much English or the orders from Macca's. So they're like, "Oh, okay, hi sir, what do you want?" And then he's like, in his accent, he's like, "I'm not too sure." And then the lady, she was like, "All right, I'll let you think about your order, and then when you're ready, please like tell me, send it through." And then he was like, "Okay, I want the order now." And then she goes, "Okay, hi, what would you like?" And then he goes, "Oh, can I have a big burger, please?" And then she assumed like it was like a Big Mac or something. So she gives him like a Big Mac, but because he said big burger, she took advantage of that, and she gave him large everything, like large Coke, large chips, large everything. And she charged him a little too much because he didn't really understand English, and he didn't really complain about it. So she kind of like ripped him off, and we didn't really complain. We just took our food and ordered it, and he only ate the burger though, and he just threw the rest of the food away. Anyway, this is the funny part. After Macca's, we decided to go home, and we're at the point we're up to stepping stones again, and yeah, he was like pretty drunk. So in Liverpool, when he was drinking, we were inside this like inside playground thing, like indoors, and we didn't realize it was raining outside for about half an hour, and we were in there for about 1 hour in total. So the stream, aka the creek, was pretty overflowing now at this point, and the stepping stone, there was no way across it, and if we walked all the way around, it would have like taken an hour to get home. So what he did was, we went to another like stepping stones place that he knew, and there was like a log there, and it was like it almost went to the other side of the creek, but there was like a tiny bit that was like that had water still streaming through it, but there was a trolley trapped in between the log and the riverbank. And that's the part where, like, you know, he's like, all right, this could be a chance to like cut across. So in his accent, he's like, he turns around to me and my brother, he's like, stay here. So we stayed, obviously, and he took about 3 steps onto the side of the riverbank, and then he bends down to go test like if the trolley was stable or not to cross it. And this is the funny part. Alright, so he bends down to check if it's stable, and then the trolley, it got unstuck and it just like rushed straight through, like past, and it was carried by the water. But in the process of that, my grandfather he fell straight into the creek, alright? And he's like, oh shit, it's so cold. It was so funny. Oh man, I'll never forget that day. He comes out, and then he's like, oh, look at me, I'm soaking wet. And then me and my brother just sitting there laughing. We couldn't breathe. Like, our stomachs were that sore from laughing. And then he's like, oh, so he goes and pulls out cigarettes from his, like, you know, like the shirt pockets, how they've got like the pockets on his shirt. That's where he keeps his cigarettes. He pulls them out. He pulls like, he opens a packet. He goes to pull one out, and all of them are soaking wet. And then he's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then he started like swearing in his language. And that made me and my brother laugh even more. And then after that, we just had to walk all the way around. And we got home, and then he got yelled at by my grandmother for like taking us on like a rainy day and risking us to like, we could have fallen into the creek and stuff. And that was just like, that was a pretty funny day, man. We couldn't, nothing could beat that day with my grandfather. It's pretty sad now because after all that drinking, he's been drinking for years. He's got like Lyrixx cancer or something now, but it was pretty, like, you know, we still visit him and stuff, but it's pretty sad that, like, to see him suffering like that. But that's like, man, that was good times. Anyway guys, thank you for listening to my story and watching my gameplay. I really hope you liked it, and yeah, stay tuned for more content. Peace.